Right. So let's go ahead and move over here to Shedeur Sanders. Shedeur Sanders is still in the mix. And when I say in the mix, I'm talking in the media because he's being talked about. Matt Ryan, he just got benched. Now Gabriel is in as a starting QB, but guess what? Shedeur still quarterback number 3. He didn't move up to number 2. But he's still in good spirits, doing what he's supposed to do. And you still got people talking about him. And one of those people is Rex Ryan. So let's listen to what Rex Ryan had to say. And then I'll give my thoughts and comments. All right. So let's go ahead and rock out. Let's get to it.
Find a way to beat the Vikings, Teddy. If I said the Steelers are going to win, the Browns don't have any offense a couple of different times. Is the door open for Tomlin and Rodgers to win this division?
Absolutely. I mean, listen, they're a well-coached team. Okay, the quarterback doesn't.
Over Brian.
All right.
Introducing.
Why are you shaking your head, Auntie?
It doesn't matter. The little lefty guy that's under 6 foot, I don't care. Gabriel, I don't care.
I agree. It is crazy.
I've got to ask you, Teddy, because I mean, the defense is so good and their offense is so unimaginably bad. I can't believe that somehow they found themselves in a position where this was what they went into the season as their plan. I guess the Deshaun Watson contract and everything else is just so crippling that they didn't have a better option. But the defense is going to lose it at some point here, right?
They are coming off a big win, though, a couple weeks ago. And then
I get it, because they make the interception and they hold
but
it
also,
nothing.
You saw what Jackson Dart did to a football team, all right? When you inject a little bit of young energy.
Yeah, we're in week 4.
We are also watching practice as defenders and teammates of Dylan Gabriel and the other quarterbacks. So, and you see Flacco. Can they do more for us? We figure it out ourselves, too. And when that answer is given to us, like, yes, we're going to make that decision, you can take off emotionally and have a lot of big juice. Like you said earlier, juice.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Like, I look at Stefanski as one of an outstanding coach. All right. But why the hell isn't he putting Shedeur Sanders? We're all waiting to see the Shedeur Sanders be the guy or Gabriel, whatever. Something's missing. Something's missing with this kid. This kid talks. He runs his mouth like I could be a starting quarterback with his arms crossed like this. Get your ass in the front row and study and do all that. If I know, the whole league knows. Quit being an embarrassment that way. You got the talent to be the quarterback. You should be embarrassed that you're not the quarterback now.
See if they make a change.
Rex Ryan, what the fuck are you talking about? What the hell are you talking about? What information do you have? What information do you have besides just what he says in the media? Just like any other quarterback who has bravado, who's going to speak highly of himself, and he understands that he has confidence, and he understands the situation at hand. You mean to tell me the kid, whose father is Deion Primetime Sanders, and the way that Primetime teaches his players, and the way that he raised his children, you mean to tell me that he didn't already know this? You telling me that he ain't already doing this? You telling me that he ain't the first one there and the last one to leave? You mean to tell me he ain't the one studying the playbook? You mean to tell me that he ain't doing none of that? He's not in. The only time he's in the media is when he getting questioned and interviewed in the locker room. That's what you talk about. He ain't making no other noise. He ain't in jail. He ain't doing nothing else egregious outside of focus on football. Because mind you guys, he already got the money. He don't need the money. He just want to play ball. He just want to play ball. So you mean to tell me the guy who's waiting on his opportunity to shine, you telling me that he's not out here focused? That's what you telling me, because you worried about what he's saying. The problem is, here's the problem. Here's the bigger problem. And this is what I hate. Because I gotta hold everybody accountable. I can't just be holding my black people accountable sometimes. I gotta hold niggas like them accountable too. Understand something. Just because a player has confidence, he has swag, he got bravado, he get it from his dad. That's why they ain't like Deion Sanders. They weren't tripping out the fact that he wasn't good or was good. They tripped out the fact because of how confident he was. And it's the same thing that it was instilled into Shedeur Sanders. Have the confidence. He has the confidence. He has the bravado. He has the swag. Everybody doing this shit now. I had a buzz on my AP, perfect timing. That's what y'all don't like. So y'all gonna find any and every little thing to knick-knack at this dude, and all he doing is waiting on his opportunity, and he's studying and becoming better each and every day. He's just waiting on his opportunity to shine. What quarterback that knows that they are good wouldn't sit there and say, you know what, man, listen, you know what, I still got a lot of work to do. You know, I don't think I'm that good. What quarterback is gonna say that? He knows he's good. He just needs the opportunity. He had 2 games in the preseason. 2. And everybody was up in arms. He had a decent game his first time playing, but then got hurt, couldn't play the second game. Then the third game, it was egregious. But mind you, we ain't gonna talk about that and what happened with that situation. But it's just but all I can say, yeah, he didn't play good. He didn't play good on his third game. Fine, which is technically the second game. Fine, I can concede to that. But what we're not about to do is sit up here and act like this kid ain't working. What we're not going to do is sit up here and act like he ain't putting in the work. What we're not going to do is act like he's not in the front of the classroom learning and trying to figure out things. We're not going to sit up here and act as if he wasn't over here. They got media footage on him talking to Myles Garrett and asking him questions in regards to the D-line, just picking his brain on what Myles Garrett would have done when if he was going against Shedeur. So what are we talking about right now? You just nitpicking at this point, and which is why we just got this other media footage of him not even saying anything, because guess what? Anything that he says, they're gonna take it out of context and take that shit somewhere where it don't need to be. Y'all doing the most, bro. Y'all doing the most.
Change there. In the meantime, the defending Super Bowl champions offense is really a puzzling statistic. Look at this number. Jalen Hurts yesterday, that's not a typo. That's not a mistake. And
no, I'm not Sam Carter. I'm not.
Still in the
but, I am following the sports. I do follow Shedeur.
In the second
but
half
I appreciate you subscribing to me and tapping in with me.
Underline the fact that they won the game anyway. And then afterwards, what can only be described as a cryptic post from their star receiver, A.J. Brown. Remember you will recall him from the reading books on the sideline spectacular of last season. Yesterday, he posts, if you're not welcomed, not listened to, quietly withdraw. Don't make a scene, shrug your shoulders, and be on your way. And I'll point, if you look at his handle, it's I am always open, which is about as wide receiver a handle as you can possibly have. So, I mean, I ask, they're 4-0 for crying out loud. So you're a leader on that team. What are you thinking?
Here's my bigger thing, though. So now that Shedeur Sanders, so now that Flacco isn't the starting QB anymore, what, the 4th game, but they only won 1 game so far? So now we get to see what Dillon Gabriel is going to do. So Joe Flacco had 4 games to figure out what he was going to do. What he won for 4. Well, 1-3, right? 1-3. Yeah, for Cleveland, I say most people here that know sports think it's time for Sanders. Gabriel is not the answer. Bro is short. But that's what I'm saying. So, and I agree, Sam Carter, but here's the thing. I will give Dillon Gabriel the opportunity just because he is the number 2. Rightfully so. Let him do his thing. Let him get his time to shine. If Dillon Gabriel does not come out, I got to be fair. I'll give him 2 to 3 games. First game, is you got to get the jitters out, but he got to be ready. I understand that. I'll give him 3 games. If he's not the answer, you gotta turn to Shedeur Sanders. Now, mind you, but everybody has to give Shedeur Sanders the same exact grace that they're gonna give Flacco, that they're giving Dillon Gabriel. They got to. Now, if Dillon Gabriel just comes out the first game and he just shits on the entire floor, hey, take him out. Throw Shedeur in there. And to be 100% honest with you, depending on how the games go when they play Sunday, are they playing Sunday? They do play Sunday. Depending on how the game goes, I would intertwine them. I will play. You got 4 quarters, and here's what I would do. I will play Shedeur and Dylan Gabriel first and second quarter. I will play Dylan Gabriel first. I have Dylan Gabriel start. Have him play the first quarter just to see what he does, just to give him an opportunity. I will bring Shedeur out second quarter to give him an opportunity to see what he do, to see just to kind of give him a feel, just to see who the starters in the in the team is really vibing with. After halftime, I would then stick with whoever I decide, like, you know what? Let's go with Dylan Gabriel for the remainder of the game. All right, cool. Or let's go with Shedeur for the remainder of the game. That's what I would do as a coach, just to figure out, since we already don't, since Joe Flacco is pretty much out, now you can really experiment with the two. Nigga, you 1-4. You 1-3. I mean, come on. You 1-3 now. You 1-3. Sam Carter said, agree, the play calling and offense ain't helping. Flacco isn't the second coming of Brady, but he isn't the season. That's what I'm saying. He isn't the reason the Browns suck. So many drives, play calling as don't man. Yeah, I agree. I wouldn't blame everything on Flacco as well. I wouldn't. But I just think Flacco's on his way out, man. He's not giving the spark that he needs, to be honest. You got two young gunners ready to go. Flacco's on his way out. I never was looking for Joe Flacco anyway, but because of his experience, but Joe Flacco ain't it. He's not the guy. He's really not.
But we are winning football games just in a way you don't like. And that's what you have to humble yourself and realize this. Sometimes you got these teammates, you just got to let them pout for a little bit too. If this is AJ's form of venting, reading a book on the sideline, his form of venting, that's okay too. Because two people that we've talked about that it won't affect the quarterback, because that guy is mentally strong as they come, and the coach also. They know how to handle it.
So then
okay, so cool. But that's what I want to talk about. But at the end of the day, man, I say this. Nobody. This is a second situation where a deep drafted player such as Shedeur Sanders, who was drafted in the 5th round, is being talked about more than your first round draft picks. Same as the NBA. One of the most talked about rookies that wasn't even drafted in the first round. Bronny James. Most talked about. But the fact is, in the NFL, they hate Deion Sanders so much to the point they tried to prove a point. Because we all knew, and you can't sit here and tell me that we all didn't think that Shedeur was not going to go first round. We knew that, all right, he going to go first round for sure. He may not be in the top 10, but he may go deep first round for sure. And then come to find out he didn't even go second or third round? Yeah, like y'all, okay, y'all trying to prove something. I got it. I see what y'all doing. Let's see what Sam says. Yep, let him mentor the young bucks, go get a better wide receiver and find a way to move the ball better. I agree. Bizarre situation for sure. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I agree 100%. 100%. I agree with that. Get the ball out quicker. Let's actually focus on getting some yards. Let Flacco be the one in the back behind the scenes, actually working with them, using his veteran experience to actually help Dylan Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders. Because we already know Shedeur Sanders was training with Tom Brady. So we already know. I can see the way that Shedeur Sanders plays now. I said, oh yeah, he's been training with Tom Brady. He looked just like Tom. He looked like a black version of Tom Brady. The way his movements and everything that he does, it looked like Tom Brady. Real talk. Everything looks like Tom Brady. Besides the swagger aspect of it, because Shedeur got swag. And that's it. Oh, yeah, for sure, Auntie. We all knew that it was about Deion Sanders, because Deion Sanders is still confident to this day and can't nobody touch him. and they tried to humble him, but at the end of the day, how you gonna humble somebody that's extremely confident, that ain't looking for your approval? How can you humble somebody like that? Same thing with Shedeur Sanders. He that's instilled in him. He is who he is. So he just doing what he need to do, playing the game, focusing on getting better. So while everybody's out there doing what they do, he focusing on the game. He's studying the game. He's becoming a student of the game. And when he get his opportunity, he gonna shine.